proudly we hail, and the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran fast, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeed TV.
Welcome, race fans, to another episode of Maxspeed TV. Steve Lane up here in the booth for the OP Premier Series here on Monday night. Glad everybody could join us. Guys, we got some exciting stuff going on here at Bumpy Road Daytona. So glad everybody can tune in. We're going to look at our point standings here. Hopefully they loaded up correctly. And looking at the winners here, Brian Wayne with the win, Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Stephen Luttrell, Josh Ball, and Jeff Crosby Jr. Out of the 6 races, we've had 6 different winners in our 7th race of the season 15. Adam Kilday right there as well. And in the mix, so is Kenny Real, Zach Workman, Steve Korosek, Andy Brigante, Mark Mann, Dustin Logston, Nate Warren, Lynn McNeese, and Zach Fritsch. So basically, if the playoffs was to start today, that would be your top 16. But right outside the cut line, though, Vicente Guerrero, Richard Kuhn, Dave Hunt, and Rick Sanchez But a win can change everything. A win will get you in. So we gonna have a repeat winner tonight, or are we gonna see one of these other hungry drivers step up to the plate and get that first win of the season? Glad everybody's out there. DF Williams again. Brendan said it. We ain't seen you in a while, DF. Hope you're doing well. And Brendan Kennedy and Moose Pie right now out there chatting it up. Glad everybody could tune in. Guys, we are going to go ahead and look at what happened last week. Your race winner at Talladega was Josh Ball. Kenny Real coming in second. Steve Corsick third. Brian Wang fifth. And Vicente Guerrero fourth, I should say, for Wang. And the fifth was Vicente Guerrero. Your stage one winner was the 81 of Dustin Logston. The stage two was the 12 of Zach Fritsch. So again, our stages for tonight, lap 25, they will get the white flag for the stage, and then lap 26, it will be the end of the stage one. Same with stage two, lap 50, and then 51 will be the end of stage. Now, if something happens and there's a caution after lap 21, it's going to be the first driver down pit road, and same with lap 46. Most points in the last three races here, folks. Brian Wang with 126. And Kenny Real with 104. Steve Corsick with 102. Adam Kilday with 98. And Hunter Reynolds with 96. Well, guys, again, we are at Bumpy Road Daytona. And let me find... Where is my SDK at? Need to refresh that. And then I need to get rid of this. And we're going to go ahead and put the Daytona International Speedway up there. And we are on a replay. There we go. Well, right now it looks like we have got about 35 cars in the session tonight. So pretty decent field for tonight's race. We've got several drivers with the teams. We're going to go ahead and get to our teams once again. And we will start with Team Nerd Esports. That consists of Steve Rada, Jeff Crosby Sr., Peter DeBorgia, Richard Kuhn, Dustin Logston. And then you got the Team Checkered Flag Motorsports, Bubba Winningham, David Overstreet, Dave Hunt, Les Levy, and Lynn McNeese. Going on to Team Bootnaka. That is the 8 of Duke Conrad, Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Eric Laurie, and Gabe Butler. Kenny Real out there in chat. How are you doing, Kenny? You should be racing or practicing or something there, buddy. But we're going to go ahead and jump on to Team Wicked race team here. That's Andy Brigante, Andrew Schroeder, John Carrera, Doug Johnson, and Alex Giffen. Team FSR, that is Fuel Sim Racing. That is Zach Fritsch, Nate Warren, Zach Workman, Jeff Crosby Jr., and Sean Macara. Then we jump into Team Vendetta. That is Alex Green, Mark Mann, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday. And then you have part-timers of Rick C. Brands, Anthony English, and James Mayer. Then we go to Team No Presta NPE. That is Josh Ball, Kenny Real out there in chat on that Team No Presta. There's Vicente Guerrero, Stephen Luttrell, Adam Schramm. And then you have Stephen Miles and Brandon Pfeiffer as part-timers. And then we go to Team Del Cup. That is the 05 of Brian Wang, Steve Korosek, and then Kevin Fries and Sebastian Marin as part-timers. And the one guy that we haven't, and I don't see him out there in Discord tonight. And I'm looking to see if he is in the session, and I do not see him. That is the 024 of Everett Lane, but I don't see him out there tonight, so he may not be racing tonight. Well, guys, we are finished with practice, and we will get right into our qualifying here. And it is showing times, but shouldn't be any times up there just yet. Right now, it looks like guys are getting into their cars. Gabe Butler going to be out on the track. Adam Kilday, Alex Green, Jimmy Reynolds, Jeff Crosby Sr., Dustin Loxton, and Dave Hunt out for their qualifying laps. Looks like Adam Schramm is out there as well as Andrew Schroeder. Rick Sanchez exiting pit road. Richard Coon out on the track. Peter DeBorgia out on the track, as well as Zach Rich, Nate Warren. There is Jeff Crosby Sr., Andy Brigante. And while the qualifying times are coming in, we will go ahead and look at our pre-race analytics here. 5 mile an hour wind, 75-degree air temperature. Got some clouds in the sky with an 87-degree track temperature. Do expect that to go up just a little bit. Probably will get in somewhere around the 100-degree mark by the time green flag starts. And we want to look at we have a new little track map. Shows where they're at on the track. Now, when all the cars are out there, they will be populating. You'll be able to see them. They'll be kind of up on top of each other, especially with side-by-side racing. So, we've got to give a special shout-out to Nerditudes for the overlays and helping me get familiar with SDK, trying something a little bit different than the ATVO. Right now, Gabe Butler setting that top spot right now. And I got to do something else here. Give me just a second, folks. This always changes, and I do not know why. But Gabe Butler is your top spot pole sitter right now with a 51.67. Jimmy Reynolds with a 51.68 in P2. Right now in P3, Dustin Loxton with a 51.69. Jeff Crosby Senior with a 51.72. With about 2 minutes left of qualifying, we'll kind of see. We still got guys out there, and none of my stuff is working. Why is that not working? There we go. That's showing. About a minute and a half. I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement. Got a few guys coming out there. That is Mr. Les Levy, Steve Rada out on his qualified. Josh Ball as well as Vicente Guerrero, Kenny Reel out there, and Hunter Reynolds. So we'll see what these guys do. John Black out there. Kyle B. Fishing. Tuning in, rooting on Steve Rada. Steve Rada is out on his qualifying lap in that 03 truck. Gabe Butler is still hanging on to that pole spot. pole position. We'll see Vicente Guerrero dropping a P4 time. Peter DeBorgia is coming out onto the track. For his lap. But looking at Steve Rada, he is up to speed. Coming through, we'll see what kind of time he puts in. That's a good enough time for 24th as we are checker flag for practice or qualifying. Well, let's go ahead and get Gabe up to the booth. If I can get my mouse to work. Gabe, Steve up in the booth, buddy. You got the pole tonight. Good time for you. Bumpy Road Daytona, as most people know, is not my favorite track.
Well, I got a love-hate relationship with it. I hate it when I lose and get wrecked, and I love it if I win.
Well, what's it going to take, buddy? You're going to be out here on that pole to start, man. What's it going to take to get that win tonight?
Pure luck, man. You got to try and stay clean here. You know how it is with the bumps and all that good stuff. And but I'm already locked in with a win, so I'm going to see if we can get a teammate a win here or get him some good points. That's the goal tonight.
So a little bit of pressure off of your chest, off of your shoulders there. Going to help your teammates out with Gabe. Good job. Congratulations on getting that pole, man. Good luck tonight, and we will catch you here soon.
All right, Steve. Thanks, man.
Buttkicker, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. Get him back down to his team. Well, there's Mr. Everett Lane out there. It looks like he did join the session a little late, but he is part of Team Buttkicker, so they just don't have him up there. We're going to go ahead and get our grid up here. Starting on the pole again, that 88 of Gabe Butler. On his outside, Jimmy Reynolds. Starting row number 2 inside, Dustin Loxton. On the outside is Vicente Guerrero. Inside row 3, Jeff Crosby Sr. Outside row 3, Adam Kilday. Row number 4 inside, Josh Ball. To his outside is the 53 of Dave Hunt. Inside row 5, Alex Green. To his outside, Jeff Crosby Jr. Inside row 6, Kenny Real. The outside of him is Zach Fritch. Row number 7 on the inside, the 13 of Andy Brigante. To his outside is the 071 of Eric Laurie. Row number 8 on the inside, Stephen Luttrell. His outside, Zach Workman. Row number 9 inside, Richard Kuhn. On his outside will be the 42 of Peter DeBorgia. Starting inside row 10, Andrew Schroeder. Outside of him will be the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Inside row 11 is going to be Adam Schramm. To his outside, the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Inside row 12, Nate Warren. To his outside, Mr. Les Levy. Row number 13 on the inside is the 03 of Steve Rada. To his outside, it'll be the 46 of David Overstreet. Row number 14 inside, the 71 of Sean McCara. To his outside is the 32 of Sebastian Merritt. Seabass out there tonight. Row 15 inside, the 05 of Brian Wayne. To his outside will be the 027 of Steve Corsi. Row number 16 on the inside will be the 24 of Everett Lane. To his outside will be the 27 of Sean Stevens. Row 17 inside, the 04 of Mark Mann. And his outside will be the 84 of Lynn McNeese. Now, row number 18, you'll have Doug Johnson on the inside. His outside will be the 44 of Anthony English. Well, that's going to round out our field tonight. 36 cars as we get ready to go here. Lights on the pace truck are out. We come out of turn number 4. The pace truck will dive off to pit road. The flag man has that green flag in his hand. Green flag out. Chevy-Land green flag. We are racing here at Bumpy Road Daytona. Bumpy Road 250 right here on Maxspeed TV. I haven't seen him yet push by, but that does not mean that he will not be. Turn that down just a little bit. That is awful loud. I had my volumes adjusted, but they're just a little bit loud. He comes down the back stretch. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds still right there. 1-2. Got the 81 of Dustin Longston. Jeff Crosby Sr., Josh Ball on the inside. On the outside line there, you got the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, the 85 of Adam Kilday, 53 of Dave Hunt, and the 12 of Zach Rich. Got a few more people tuning in out there and talking it up. Belva Phelps, John Black, Moose Pie. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. It is going to be a wild night. As Gabe Butler goes to the outside in front of Jimmy Reynolds. Dustin Longston getting pushed by the 15 and the 1. That is Jeff Crosby Sr., Josh Ball, and the 3 of Alex Green. I guess Anthony is not in the race tonight. He may be spotting for somebody tonight. We're looking back through the field. We're side-by-side racing pretty much all the way back until you get back here around. I believe that is 27 of Sean Stevens. Mark Mann down on the inside. Everett Lane on the outside. Lynn McNeese there as well. Doug Johnson. Now we got guys switching back and forward. Back up to the front though, Peter DeBorgia. We're 3 wide at the 08 Daytona. This is risky, folks, because there is not a smooth spot on this track. Gabe Butler on the inside, Jimmy Reynolds in the middle, and that is Peter DeBorgia on the outside. 32 of Sebastian Mayer and the 19 of Zach Workman. I believe that is the 47 of Richard Kuhn. Wow, Peter Borgia, big move, check up door. Not sure he wanted to do it that way. That could have ended very badly. But everybody was able to maintain. Hey, there he is, Storm Chaser David Casper out there. Waving to everybody. Welcome, David. Glad to hear you can make it tonight. Hopefully you guys aren't getting any storms. I know we had little pop-ups. Oh, no. Sorry to hear that, buddy. So we got guys going off track. Caution has come out as they are wrecking. That is Jeff Crosby Sr. going hard up into the outside wall. Let's take a look here and see. That's where Jeff Crosby Sr. got up into the door of the 85 into the 48. That sent him up into the wall. But we had some other action going on prior to that. We're going to go ahead and rewind that. And let's get on a chase view here. Let me get my camera turned around here, folks. As we get this going. Ooh, that's loud. Let me turn that down, definitely. Right there. You seen the 027, That was Steve Korsick. Let me see if I can get on his car. Oh, Steve Rada Korsick was looking to the inside. And Steve Rada just came down. Got into the nose of Korsick. That got Rada a little bit loose. Down into the 15 and into Jimmy Reynolds. And then you see Jimmy and Alex Green getting into each other. And that's what caused a lot of the action. People going off into the grass. You see Adam Kilday down there as well. Well, that's going to bring out our first caution of the night here, folks. As we go down pit road, you see the smoke coming out of the 15 of Jess Crosby Sr. Gabe Butler's going to come out your leader, lap 7 of 100. Get our split up there. And let's see. Looks like Zach Workman, Andrew Schroeder, Adam Schramm. Well, Adam and Workman and Schroeder just now coming off of pit road. And Everett Lane is still down on pit road. I'm sure he's probably got quite a bit of damage. We see these other guys. That's Andy Brigante, Eric Laurie, Les Levy, Rick Sanchez, Steve Luttrell, Sean McCara, Steve Rada, Sebastian Marin, Jeff Crosby Sr., Lynn McNeese, Jimmy Reynolds, all down pit road. Well, David Casper, I hope you get to feeling better soon, buddy. I was going to ask if you guys, where you're at, David, if you guys are getting any of the storms. I know we had some pop-ups happen earlier today. They kind of died out. I don't think they had enough energy to really do anything, but I know there for a while it was producing some hell for them. Lights on the pace truck are out. We are going to be side-by-side racing here. As we come into turns 3 and 4, we'll be ready to get this thing started back here. We come out of turn 4. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. Green flag, Chevy Land, green flag back out for Chevy Land. Maxspeed TV, sponsor for the green flag. So big shout out to Chevy Land, of course, ChevyLand.com. Chevy Land out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Go to ChevyLand.com, inventory, see what they got. They do deliver in the lower 48 states. So if you purchase a vehicle and you can't make it to Shreveport, they will deliver to in the lower 48 states. Well, you're going to get a lot of that here. Like I said, to me, I've run this track. I've made it known that I do not like this track. There is not a smooth line anywhere on this track. The worst spots down here in turns 1 and 2 on that low line, it gets a little bit rough. Y'all have to bear with me, guys. I am going to have to pull this up. Let's turn that down just a little bit. That is awful loud. There we go. I know some people like the loudness of the trucks, but sometimes it's overpowering. Here we go. Gabe Butler out front here. Dustin Loxton right now in second. Kenny Reel moving up 7 spots to 4th. Right now, our biggest mover, though, is the, it's like the 16 of Nate Warren, up 17 spots. He is on that outside line right behind the Steve Corsick. Now we're looking back at 3 wide back here, folks. That is the 13. Ooh, Josh Ball around the 13 of, that is Andy Brigante right into it, and then Josh down and right into the 13. Well, that's going to bring out our second caution. Let's take a look. I know we were watching that. We want to kind of see what happened. We were on Josh Ball. Let's take a look here. And that didn't save my camera angle like I wanted it to. Ooh, it looks like the 3 of Alex Green came up into Josh. That sent Josh up, and Andy Brigante on that outside made contact, got Josh loose. He was trying to save it, and the rear end just snapped around on him. Almost up in the air, and then Andy Brigante right into the side. That sends Josh up on top of the wall. Yes, it is, Brendan. And then Josh Ball come off the wall right back down into Andy Brigante. Well, guys, that's going to bring us to our third caution of the night. Gabe Butler leads them back off of the pit road. Dustin Loxton there. Got David Overstreet, but David's down on pit road. Showing him in first, but that's not right. Okay, now that dropped David down here into 23rd. But Gabe Butler, here's your leader. Dustin Loxton in second. Peter DeBorge third. Kenny Reel fourth. Steve Corsick rounding out your top 5. Well, that's going to give us a chance to step aside for just a minute. Hear from our sponsor here on OP Premier Series Buttkicker. We will be right back. And we are back as we come across the start-finish line. The lights on the pace truck will go out. We will be back side by side for the restart. That's going to put Dustin Loxon out on the outside. Peter DeBorgia on the inside, row 2. Kenny Real outside of row 2. This Everett Lane is going to have to hold up coming off a pit road and fall to the back of the pack. Rick Sanchez back here in 21st. We got guys coming off a pit road. Looking to see. The only truck we got a lap down is the 24, the 024 of Everett Lane, and he is going to be 5 laps down. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. 16 viewers, 7 likes, but we are getting there, folks. I know these guys want some green flag pit stops. Just going to have to be a little more patient. Here they come down out of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Pace truck dives off down into pit road. The Chevy Land green flag back out, folks. Green flag racing here at 08 Daytona Bumpy Road 250 right here on Maxspeed TV. I do have to apologize to our fans. I know y'all were expecting a broadcast last night, but I had a family function to go to and did not get home in time. So I do apologize to our fans. I also apologize to the CFM crew. They are in the playoffs. It was the second race of the round of 16. Cut to the round of 8, and well, there may be a replay broadcast this week. I'll have to get with David Overstreet to find out if anybody saved or if I can get the replay. Here we go, looking back here. Seabass leading this 3 wide group with Hunter Reynolds and the 03 of Steve Rada on the outside line. Coming up on the outside of the 53 of Dave Hunt. 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. That looks like the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Zach Workman and Brian Wang. Ooh, Vicente Guerrero moving up to the outside line as well. Oh, Richard Kuhn hard into that outside wall. That's going to bring out another caution. That was a massive, massive hit by Stephen Kuhn as he goes up and over. We're going to get on a chase view here. We see Eric Laurie right behind the 47. Truck going to the apron. Well, he goes to the apron and then right back up in front of Eric Laurie, who gets him in the right rear bumper. And then Stephen Luttrell right up underneath him, and that sent the 47 up and over on his lid. But that initial hit on that outside wall. We're going to go ahead and go into the cockpit here. As he goes down and then around. Looks like Stephen Luttrell up into the wall in front, but he has blowed his motor with that hit to the outside wall, so he will have to tow back to the pits, and that is where he is at right now. Well, let's go ahead and see. We got drivers coming down pit road. Want to get with our admin / race control here. The 17 to Jimmy Reynolds, but we will wait till he gets done with his pit stop. Jimmy looking like he is getting 4 tires and fuel. Maybe getting some damage fixed as well. Once he gets rolling, we'll bring him up here and visit with him for just a second. Got several others. That's Stephen Luttrell and Richard Coon down on pit road. All right, here comes Jimmy. Out on the track, so we'll holler at him real quick. Jimmy, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Partly cloudy.
Well, you know, it's getting a little bit rough out there. Looks like guys need to kind of be a little more patient, but that's just from my point of view. Of course,
I agree with that point of view wholeheartedly.
You know, this is not my favorite track. I do not like running 08 because there is not a smooth line out there anywhere.
Well, I kind of look back to 2 nights ago, and we ran, I don't know, it was 44 cars with the B car at 08 and went 4 cautions. So,
and the trucks are a lot easier to drive than the B car.
Yes. So that's kind of where my frustration is, but we'll see if we can make it through the night.
Well, you know, it's still a lot of racing left, Jimmy, and you look like you might have been getting a little bit of damage fixed. We didn't want to bother you down pit road, but just wanted to visit with you for just a second. And you know, we're race 7 into the season. You know, these guys should be kind of getting used to racing around each other by now.
I would think so. For some reason, I think there's a lot of impatient souls out there tonight for some reason. Maybe trying to catch up on points or something like that. I don't know. I was getting some damage fixed, but we're good to go now, and we'll see what happens.
All right, Jimmy. Well, good luck. You guys are fixing to go back green. We will let you go. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Bye.
All right. We'll get him back down there as we are getting ready to go back green. Lights on the pace truck are out. We are side by side at racing. Gabe Butler, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorcia, Stick Gorsek, Sebastian Marin, your top 5. Logston, Pritch, Hunter Reynolds, Real, Warren, rounding out your top 10. Then you got Kilday, Hunt, Crosby Jr., Rada, Ball, Schroeder, Jimmy Reynolds, Brian Wang, Adam Schramm, Stephen Luttrell, top 20. Well, there goes the pace truck, folks. Chevy Land green flag in the flagman's hand. Here we go. Chevy Land green flag back out once again. We are on the loud pedal. And I want to get that time up there and get our laps back on the green flag side. So we see what is going on as they enter turns 1 and 2. The trucks are roaring tonight here at 08 Daytona. Again, got to give some shout outs here to Dustin Loxton, Peter DeBorgia, and the Nerditude guys on getting me set up and going with our SDK overlay. David Casper, good night, buddy. Get you some rest and get the feeling better. All of us here at Maxspeed TV, we wish you the very best. I do see you out there as well, William. Glad you're tuning in. I appreciate all of our fans out there tuning in week after week, night after night. I was hoping to get Joshua up in the booth with me a little bit, but he has not been really around very much. Let me send him a message and see if he wants to join me. Go from there. But I hope everybody had a great day today. Beautiful day here in Oklahoma. Was excited to get some racing in tonight as we are going back 3 wide once again. That is the old 47 out on the outside with Hunter Reynolds, Nate Warren, Adam Kilday. The 03 of Steve Rodder drops him back down behind the 53 of Dave Hunt and then moves right back out to that outside line. Gabe Butler drops it down. Ooh, Peter DeBorgia, the 32 of Seabass getting around 85. Another big wreck here, folks. Got several trucks involved. Kilday gets a piece of it somehow. Looks like Kitty Rail went through the grass. Was able to avoid that. Ooh, Jimmy Reynolds might have got a piece of that again. Dustin Loxton, definitely he is. Look like his truck is coasting. So let's take a look here and see where that puts us at. But that was, don't tell me. We are back at doing this again. I know Adam Kilday got a big piece of that. So we're going to go ahead and do a rewind here. And we'll go on our chase view. I'm pretty sure that might have happened in front because I believe that was with the 32 of Sebastian Marin and the 12 of Zach Fritch. And that thing is loud. Let me turn that down. That bump. Oh, the door, the Dustin Logston down into the door of the 32. And then the 32 gets a little bit off kilter. Zach Fritch Kenny Real, nowhere for Kenny to go. There's Adam Kilday hard up into the wall. It's Dustin Loxton. Yeah, he went up in the air, lost his hood. Somehow, Seabass was able to regain control. You see Josh Ball drifting around the corner. He was able to get it straightened out, but several cars involved there, folks, on that wreck. Well, it looks like Sebastian Marin's coming off of pit road. Adam Kilday still down on pit road. As well as Josh Ball, Zach Workman, Andrew Schroeder, Everett Lane. He is coming up a pit road now. It looks like David Overstreet may have taken his truck behind the wall. I do not see David out on the track. Vicente Guerrero coming back down pit road. So is Brian Wang, Alex Green, Andy Brigante, Jeff Crosby Sr., Mark Mann, Lynn McNeese, Sean Stevens, Les Levy, Peter DeBorgia, Doug Johnson, Sebastian Marin coming back down, as well as Dustin Logston. And the 12 of Zach Fritch. Well, lights on the pace truck are out. Lap 26 of 100. And I did not catch the winner of the stage. We were looking at the wreck, and I believe the wreck come out as we were crossing the stage finish. So we will get that information, and we will get the stage winner interview as soon as we can. As these guys get ready to come in turns 3 and 4. Come out of turn number 4. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. You see the two lines right there just after the pit exit or entrance there. Green flag back out once again. On the loud pedal for lap 27 of 100. And the caution comes right back out, folks. Looks like Mark Mann looked like that might have been on Doug Johnson. Oh, Doug was checking up because he seen them. That happened up here. Let me see. All right there. That was right there with Alex Green. and Brian Wang. Big checkup up front. That actually even happened further up here. That was on Adam Schramm checked up. We're going to back this up here. Yeah, that was just a big checkup. Adam, I don't know if he started in the wrong gear or what. That caused the checkup. It caused trucks to go out of the way. But we are back live here, folks. Stephen Luttrell opted, looked like, to stay out. I know it's got to be frustrating for these guys. This is the best super speedway racers in OP series, and to have this many cautions, I believe this is our 7th caution so far of the night. That's one thing I do miss about ATBO is the caution counter. I need to get with the Nerditude guys and see if we can't create a caution button. Well, we're going to go ahead and look at your top 10 right now. Stephen Luttrell, Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Steve Corsick, Nate Warren, Rick Sanchez, Kenny Real, Jimmy Reynolds, and Jeff Crosby Jr. and Eric Laurie, your top 10 right now. Of course, Stephen Luttrell did get his first OP win a couple of weeks ago. Been begging me for an interview, just ain't had a chance to do it, and then he gets a win and gets the interview. So, but congratulations to Stephen. Again, I know what it's like getting your first OP win. When I got mine on Wednesday night, it was my first iRacing win as well. Well, I am still, well, guess he's not, so. Lap 30 of 100 in the books. We are fixing to go back green here, folks, as they are on the back stretch right now. Going to come around turns 3 and 4. We will get ready to go back green when the pace truck dies off down to the safety of pit road. Again, 08 Daytona don't necessarily have a restart zone like the new Daytona and Talladega do. Has 2 white lines, one just after pit entrance, or right at pit entrance, and then there's a line right after. So I guess you could say that is the restart zone. As we come out of turn number 4, we are side by side, stacked up, racked up, ready to go once again with that Chevy Land green flag. There goes the pace truck down the pit road. That Chevy Land green flag back out once again, folks. Here we go on the loud pedal. Going to see if we can get some green flag runs in here. Maybe some green flag pit stops. Steven Luttrell down on the inside. Gabe Butler taking over that top spot. Steven Luttrell right behind him. That is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the 16 of Nate Warren, the 11 of Kenny Reel, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. down on the inside. On the outside is the 27 Steve Korczak. That is the 5 of Rick Sanchez, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 71 of Eric Laurie, the 53 of Dave Hunt, and the 81 of Dustin Longston. Here comes the 1 of Josh Ball and the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. Back up here, of course, in front. Steven Luttrell to the outside in front of Korczak. Steven's going to try to get a run on that outside to get back in front of Gabe Butler. Gabe says, nope, I ain't going to let you have it that easy. As we look at our battle for position here. Oh, Steven Luttrell trying to get to the back, and Josh Ball right behind him. Don't know if Josh was just trying to push him or what, but that's going to cause some damage to Luttrell and Ball. That's going to put Korczak out front of Gabe Butler right now. Rick Sanchez on his bumper. 88 of Gabe Butler down on the inside with the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. We come around to turn number 2. They are coming down the back stretch. Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Nate Warren, Kenny Reel, Jeff Crosby Jr., Dustin Logston. Big group of guys down on that bottom line with Doug Johnson, Steve Rada, the 12 of Zach Fritsch. But as we look back up to the front, though, Gabe Butler still got the edge, so to speak, on Steve Korczak. Steve Korczak's not going to let him have it that easy as they battling it out for the lead right now. There goes that outside line having problems. Josh Ball. Oh no, there's going to be another caution. Josh Ball was running up on that third lane. We're going to take a look at this here. That is actually on Josh Ball. Oh, that was the previous wreck. Well, iRacing is being iRacing. It's going to do its thing. But we're going to go ahead and do this live rewind here. Josh Ball was coming to that outside line, had the run. It looks like maybe Dave Hunt came up. I don't know. Well, Josh Ball's up against the wall right there. Tried to get off the wall, comes down, turns right into the 53. So I believe that was the only two vehicles involved. And we are back live once again here, folks. These guys coming down pit road. Sorry about that. I hit my volume button on my headset. All jacked up out there. This is trash. What are we doing? I believe that is that you, Schroeder? I believe that is Andrew Schroeder. This is not typical of the Monday night guys. That is for sure. Usually a lot better racing than what we're seeing tonight out of these guys. Well, as the lights on the pace truck do go out, they're going to make their way through turns 1 and 2. We'll get these guys stacked up, racked up, ready to go once again. We are getting close to stage 2. Again, if the caution comes out, lap 46, or before the end of the stage after lap 46, then that will be the end of stage 2. Bubba. Oklahoma Outlaw. I love it. I have to get me a car painted with that on there, Bubba. But glad you made it. Sorry you had to work late and missed the race, man. Hope you're doing well down there in Shreveport. I still need to make it down there so we can go get some crawfish somewhere. I love me some Cajun crawfish. Or as we like to call them here in Oklahoma, crawdaddies. Well, here we go. Coming down, pace truck down to pit road. We get ready for that Chevrolet green flag back out once again. Again, Bubba's out there. Listen, Chevrolet.com, folks. Go check them out. Chevrolet down in Shreveport, Louisiana. You can do everything online, make a purchase, do everything, financing if you need to finance, do it all online. And if you can't make it to Shreveport, well, Bubba will make sure that that vehicle is delivered to you in the lower 48 states. So go to Chevrolet.com, take a look at their selection. Well, right now, Peter DeBorgia getting pushed out front by the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Zach Fritch down on that bottom line with Gabe Butler, Steve Gorsuch, Rick Sanchez, Jeff Crosby Jr., the 81 of Dustin Logston. Of course, on the outside again, you got Peter DeBorgia, Hunter Reynolds, Nate Warren, Kenny Reel, Jimmy Reynolds, Zente Guerrero, and Andrew Schroeder. A lot of weaving back and forth through the field. Looking back here, Zach Workman and Gante just kind of hanging out right there. And then you got Mark Mann, single file for Mark Mann, Jeff Crosby Sr., Doug Johnson, Sean Stevens, Stephen Luttrell, Dave Hunt, Richard Kuhn, Josh Ball, Les Levy, Lynn McNeese and Everett Lane. Oh, I am hoping to buy me a boiler so I could get me some fresh crawfish in Oklahoma and get me a good Cajun boil going on. Oh, I'm all for it, Bubba. I am all for it. Well, here we go. We are coming around to turn 3 and 4. Going to hit this tri-oval once again. Looks like Gabe Butler is going to edge out the 12 of Zach Rich for that lap. Oh, it was close. It was close. Lap 41 of 100. Guys are weaving back and forth in this main group. One up on the high side. That's the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Might have found something he liked. Here he goes. He is going to make it 3 wide with Andrew Schroeder. We are on the rooftop. Love this rooftop cam. He is up on that high side, and you can just see how bumpy this road is. This 08 Daytona. I've been watching a guy on YouTube. Bubba might know, I don't know if he would know him personally, but he'd probably know who I'm talking about. He goes by the YouTube name of Stell Cracker. Very good. He reminds me of a modern Justin Wilson. I've been watching him and trying to learn how to boil some of them crawfish. And you can see just how bumpy these guys are, just all over the place. Actually bought some of that guy's, he calls it his money dip. I bought some of it. They sell it at Walmart. And I'm going to tell you something right now, folks. That is some of the best with anything. I've been using it for chicken. Oh, here we go. We are wrecking. That is Coruscant. Almost. Ooh, 42. Peter DeBorgia goes up and over. We got several trucks involved in that. Well, let's see if this thing will let me go back and catch that. We're going to go ahead and rewind this a little bit. It looked like maybe a bad push. From the 42. Let me see if I can find his truck number. There it is. That just looked like a bad push from Pete. As he goes down, he gets into the door of the 12. 12 up into Steve Korosek, the old 27. Steve went up and over. But then Pete goes up on his side going through the grass. That got a lot of guys mixed up into that. Kenny Rail looks like he got a piece of it as well. That's going to be lap 44 of 100, so we will have a few lap shootout for the stage. Looks like we are transitioning over to a night race here, folks. Yeah, Melvin, that It could have been. I don't think it got as many people as. Let's see. Where is the 5? Looks like he did. He is up here in P3 right now. Oh. Is there not lights on 08? I thought there was. That is David Overstreet out there at Checker Flag Motorsports. And again, David, I do apologize, and I apologize to our fans. But if you could get with me, maybe sometime this week, if I could get if you got the replay, maybe I could do a voiceover and do a live stream with the replay. So get with me here the next day or two. Tomorrow I've got a lawn that I've got to go take care of for my neighbor, getting ready for the holidays. So if you could get with me, get me the replay, then we see about doing something for CFM bids. It was the second race of the round of 16. He might have a wheel track on the top of that truck. Yeah, he very could. Very well could. Absolutely. Bubba, one of you guys, get with me. Like I said, maybe I bring you guys on board and do a little commentary with me or something. There we go. Lights on the pace truck are out as they turn turn 1 and 2. They will come down to the back stretch. I believe this is our 9th or 10th caution. Like I said, it's very, very uncharacteristic of this group to have this many cautions. I talked to Jimmy a little bit earlier, and he agrees with my perspective that the guys are just being a little bit. Oh no. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather here once again. We got a 7-mile-an-hour wind, 77-degree air temperature, cloudy with a 95-degree track temperature. So really not that big of a deal as far as the track temperature is concerned compared to what they run most of the time. As the Chevrolet green flag comes back out on the loud pedal. This is going to be a 4-lap shootout for the stage. If it stays green, if we get a caution, then it's going to be the first truck down pit road. So we're already 3 wide back here. Sebastian Marin looking out to the outside, 3 wide. Dave Hunt in the middle. That is the 027 of Steve Korsick looking to the outside as well. Him and Sebastian Marin getting hooked up. They're going to drop it down to that second lane. Right now, Gabe Butler in first. Rick Sanchez behind him. Hunter Reynolds in second. We come through the tri-oval, lap 48. We are looking at 3 wide once again. That is the 19 of Zach Workman, Josh Ball, Steve Korsick. Josh is going to drop it down to the second line. Now Andrew Schroeder looking to go out to the outside. Trying to get that group of him and Adam Kilday, Zach Workman, Steve Korsick. Ooh, the 3 of Steve Rada getting a little bit high there into that second lane. Keep our eye on this 3 wide situation. That is the 81 of Dustin Loxton joining that third line now as we come 3 wide. And we're wrecking here, folks. That's going to bring out our caution. That will end our stage. Going to look and see. I believe it's probably going to, according to iRacing here, looks like it's going to be Hunter Reynolds. That will be your stage 2 winner. They've got to get caught back up to the pace truck. That will be stage number 2, folks. We're just going to make sure that that I got it right this time. I believe it, according to iRacing, Hunter is going to be in that top spot. We'll let Hunter get into his pit box. We'll let him get his pit stop done, and then we will bring him up for the stage winner interview. Hunter Reynolds, man, you got stage 2 right there, bud. Congratulations. We're talking a little bit about the cautions. Kind of uncharacteristic of this group.
Yeah, especially this many so quick. I don't know if it's the stages deny. The cars are pretty easy to race aggressive. We also got some more aggressive part-timers. They might be stirring everybody up. But, yeah, good to get the stage win there. Pretty happy about it.
Well, that's definitely going to get you some good points for the season. Of course, I think you're already in. I think you got a win on the season. So that's got, like we were talking to somebody earlier, you know, that's got to relieve a little bit of pressure off of you knowing that you got that win already.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm just... if I want to come out here and just have a fun night, you know, ride around, I could. But, man, I like racing, dude. I want to be up front, so keep pushing. Have my teammate Gabe up there working with me. And we got some more teammates trying to get into the playoffs, so I'll be helping them out in the later half of this race.
Well, congratulations, Hunter. Like I said, good points, you know, getting that stage points. Awesome job, buddy, and good luck for the rest of the race, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully racing gets better.
Yeah, right? I think everybody is saying that out there in chat. It's like, my God, this many cautions.
I know. I mean, look, it's boring enough for me to sit here and drive around under caution. I can't imagine sitting there on the couch watching it, man. I have to get up and get me another sweet tea or something every other caution.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck, man. We'll hopefully holler at you later.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, see you.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, let's see. Who can we pick on? You know what? Let's pick on this guy. Where is he at? We're going to pick on the 084. We'll get him up here for just a second. Got to pick on our buddy Lynn McNeese. Lynn, man, it's rough out there tonight.
Yeah, we was just discussing that. They're having a field day tonight, aren't they?
Oh, man. You know, it's what we were just talking to Hunter and Jimmy about earlier. You know, this many cautions this early is really uncharacteristic of this group.
Yeah, it's I don't, it's getting worse. But I really hope they can figure out the way to get rid of that, because it's taking the racing out of it now and just having Dodge wrecks.
Exactly. You know, and a lot of guys, you know, me for one, you know, especially when you got good caliber drivers, you know, you guys don't want to do caution laps all the time.
No, McGee's used to have to run out and talk about it there too, don't it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to find stuff to talk about. Sometimes you just kind of sit there like, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah, the blimp is about the only thing doing good tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only thing ain't hit anything yet. Well, good luck, Lynn. We just wanted to mess with you a little bit, buddy, and you know, try to have some fun out there.
Oh, I am. I'm just back here just dodging the dominoes. So.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Oh, well, you know, that's a good group of guys. The pace truck dives off down the pit road once again. Here we go. Chevy Lane green flag back out. Hopefully they get some good green flag runs here. We're going to get that off and get our ticker back up, or our vertical bar back up here. Already you see guys making some moves. That was the 3 of Alex Green. That was getting a little bit hot coming out of the corner. There goes the 19 of Zach Workman down on that bottom line. We're going to look at Mark Mann out to the outside with the 53 of Dave Hunt right behind him. Of course, Dustin Loxton, Adam Kilday, Steve Arada, Alex Green on the inside. Then you got Zach Rich, the 71 of Sean McCara, 16 of Nate Warren, and the 88 of Gabe Butler on that outside line there. Mark's doing a good job maintaining on those bumps. We come in turns 1 and 2. Zach Workman's going to have a good run on that inside line. Ooh, down to the apron just a little bit. Him and Dustin Loxton. You see a lot of guys just kind of back and forth there. Well, guys, we haven't done this. I finally got the cameras, so we're going to step aside here, and we're going to do a little bit of crank it up if we don't have another caution. Hang tight. We will be right back. try to get some footage so I can get a new intro video made for the Monday night guys. Right now, Dave Hunt has taken over that lead. Zach Fritch in second on the outside. And on the inside, you got Dave Hunt, Zach Workman, Mark Mann, Dustin Loxton, Adam Kilday, Zach Fritch, Alex Green, Stephen Luttrell, and Kitty Real all on that outside line right now. We'll look at our pitch strategies here. Looks like we're going to get, with these trucks, maybe 13, 14 laps before they need to come in for fuel. David O, if you're still out there, I know you was in the race a little bit. Is my guesstimation close to that? About 12, 13, 14 laps of fuel? Let me know if you would, please, sir. We're actually looking out the back off the deck lid of the 53 of Dave Hunt. Alex Green is your leader. Stephen Luttrell getting pushed out to the front there. Ooh, as he kind of comes down, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Stephen, what he sees. That's what I was thinking, 13, 14, Bubba. Thank you, sir. I was pretty close. Or I guess you say I was spot on with that guesstimate. They are rounding turns 1 and 2. Going to turn and come out onto the backstretch, I believe. Or no, they're in 3 and 4. Going to come to the tri-oval. Alex Green going to be your leader coming to the line door to door with Stephen Luttrell. Lap 62 of 100, folks. Looking back to the back there, looks like we got a lot of guys single file line. Back here, we're starting about Rick Sanchez, all the way back, Sean McCart, Josh Paul, Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Sebastian Marin, Steve Korsick, Brian Wang, Adam Schramm, Jeff Crosby Sr., Richard Kuhn, Peter DeBorgia, Les Levy, Sean Stevens, Len McNeese, Andy Brigante, Andrew Schroeder, and Everett Lane. Looks like Dustin Johnson, David Overstreet. Of course, David said he was having some computer problems taking their trucks behind the wall. 13, 14 laps. Pit window is pretty much open. Looking at 11, 12 laps for these drivers out here already. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Of course, we're talking about all these guys back here in the back. As you see in single file, Bubba was talking about. Staying back here to maybe try to avoid anything that happens in front of them, or at least hoping to. David, I wish I knew what that could be causing your screens to freeze. They're going to keep an eye on these guys because we should be getting ready to start getting some pit stops in here pretty soon. Of course, green flag pit stops is going to spread the field out. I think that's a lot of our problem. We've been so bunched up all night long. Guys are just trying to make moves that, you know, they normally wouldn't make. looks like we're going to get some green flag pit stops this time by. These guys have been out here 14 laps. Kenny Real falling way back. Looks like he's going to try to get into his position. Not seeing anybody come down just yet. At least not in this big group. Kenny Real's the only one coming down pit road. Come down the back stretch though. That's Alex Green in the lead. Stephen Luttrell on the outside. Zach Fritz, Zach Workman, Dave Hunt, Mark Mann, Dustin Logston down on that inside line. Gabe Butler, Jeff Crosby Jr., Vicente Guerrero, Eric Laurie out on the high line right now. We're going to see what happens here. Who's going to pit? Here comes Alex Green. Looks like Rick Sanchez coming down pit road as well. Les Levy. Oh, Les spinning. Oh, almost collected the 24 of Everett Lane. Somehow missed that. Wow. Looking back up to the front, though, Stephen Luttrell is out front with Zach Fritch, Jeff Crosby Jr., Zach Workman, Dave Hunt. Still got two cars on the outside. That is Sebastian Marin and Steve Korsak. Steve is falling back. Sebastian Marin, though, he is trying to... Oh, wow. I don't know if he can do that. They're going to have to look at that. As that brings out the whole field, we got people wrecking back here. That is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. The 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr., the 27 of Sean Stevens. Nate Warren missing his box. Guys coming in for fuel. Well, Peter DeBorgia stayed out by himself. Well, Jeff Crosby Jr. going to be the first one of that group to come off of pit road. So here comes DeBorgia, going to come down pit road by himself. Stephen Luttrell still down on pit road. Yeah, it'll spread them out just a little bit. Right now, Jeff Crosby Jr., Zach Fritch are the two out front. Where is my intervals at? Sebastian Marin and Gabe Butler about a second and a half behind Jeff Crosby Jr. And then Dustin Loxton, Dave Hunt, about a half a second behind Gabe. Peter Borgia coming off the pit road, Brian Wayne. But you got this big group right here. That is Sanchez, Alex Green. Looks like the 05. That's Brian Wayne falling back. But Jeff Crosby Jr. out front, Zach Fritch in second, Sebastian Marin, Gabe Butler caught up with them. Well, Dustin Logston right there about a half a second, and Dave Hunt trying to get caught up with that front group. But then you see that second group, Rick Sanchez, Hunter Reynolds, Alex Green, Zach Workman, Adam Kilday, Steve Rada, Richard Coon, Lynn McNeese, Josh Ball, and Adam Schramm, and Brian Wayne in that second group. And about 4 seconds behind them and losing gap is Peter DeBorgia. Well, they got Andy Brigante, Jimmy Reynolds, Andrew Schroeder, Nate Warren, Sean Stevens, Sean McCara, Kenny Real, and Everett Lane in this back group. Well, they're going to get caught up with the 42 of Peter DeBorgia and go by him fairly easily. Now Everett Lane and Peter DeBorgia getting hooked up. They're going to try to get pushed up to the back of Kenny Reel, and they do. But you got this group of 6 trucks with Jeff Crosby Jr., Zach Pritch, Sebastian Marin, Gabe Butler, Dustin Logston, and Dave Hunt. But then back here you got this big group. I think if they just kind of get in a line, they will make up time. Because right now, with the side drafting going on, they're losing, or they're not really losing, but they're not gaining anything either. Let me see here. We'll take a look here. We got our last lap. It looks like that let's get that off of there. Crosby Sr., Crosby Jr. with a 47.915. And then Hunter Reynolds is leading this group with a 48.231. So that front group is actually about a second faster than the back group. They are a little, looking at the time, the last times, and we are under caution here, folks. I was wondering why guys was weaving back and forth like they were. Let's take a look and see. That looked like Andrew Schroeder. Was that the previous? That can't be right. So we're going to go ahead and look back at this. I think it was in that second group. So let me do a live rewind here, folks. Looking to see. Caution's out right there. So we're going to kind of go back through the field here. See if it was with this group. Nope, not with that group. Ooh, looks like Steve Korosek. So this third group, looking for my caution lights. My caution's out right there. Well, maybe. Maybe it was with this group here. That's Andy Brigante. Andrew Schroeder, Nate Warren. Oh, caution came out right there. I don't know what the caution was for, folks. Very well could have. Very well could have. Could have been an accidental caution. Let me look at my event viewer here. Looking to see if maybe somebody threw a water bottle out of the car. Yeah, I'm not seeing where there was anything in my event viewer. Let me look at, let me go back here a little bit further. Nope. Still trying to look through my little event viewer on STK because that'll show me when a caution was thrown. This is where it's telling me the caution was thrown, but it doesn't say why. We are back green, folks. Everybody is bunched back up. We were trying to figure out what was going on and missed the green flag restart, but we are back green here. Jeff Crosby Jr., your leader, Hunter Reynolds in at second, Zach Workman third, Gabe Butler fourth right now. It's Jeff Crosby Jr., Hunter Reynolds down to the inside line, Zach Workman, Dave Hunt, Steve Brada, Richard Kuhn on that outside, Andrew Schroeder as well. Gets everybody bunched back up. Side-by-side racing in turns 1 and 2. Let's get our priority back up here to laps 23 to go, folks. Here at 08 Daytona. Bumpy Road 250 here on Monday night OP Premier Series. And thank you again for everybody tuning in and watching. 14 viewers, 9 likes. I do appreciate everybody that hit the like button tonight. Big shout out to everybody out there in chat. David Overstreet, Bubba Winningham. I think Andrew Schroeder. William Luttrell out there, Belva, Netsby, I believe, who am I missing? Storm Chaser David Casper tuning in. D.F. Williams has been out there most of the night. John Black, Brendan Kennedy. Let's see, Kyle B. Fishing. Of course, Kenny Real popping into chat. Now we got a battle going on for that top spot. Jeff Crosby Jr., Zach Workman side by side. Jeff Crosby Jr. down on the inside with Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Dustin Loxton, the 3 of Alex Green. And then on the outside, the 19 of Zach Workman, the 53 of Dave Hunt, 03 of Steve Drada, 47 of Richard Kuhn, the 48 Andrew Schroeder, the 71 of Sean McCara. Well, of course, the 62 it looked like of Les Levy out there on that outside line as well. But battling back and forth, switching positions between the 33 Crosby Jr. and Workman, just back and forth for that first place spot, the P1 spot. We cross the line here, folks. We'll be 20 to go as we are winding it down. I'm going to get a little bit excited here. We're back 3 wide. That is Sebastian Marin in the 32 machine, and the old 27 is Steve Corsick. They do have that run and got the run right past. Steve Corsick goes to the bottom. Sebastian Marin to that second lane. Them two guys got a heck of a run on that outside line. And it can be done. It's just not very often you see it. Now Sebastian Marin right in front of the 19 of Zach Workman as the 027 is in front of Jeff Crosby Jr. We're 19 to go now, folks. That was a heck of a run on that third lane by Seabass and the 027 of Corsick. Final pit stops between 12 and 14 to go. Let's see what they've done so far. Not even registered yet, so they've only been out here for a few laps. We are back up to speed. Steve Corsick and Sebastian Marin both with a 47.4 on their last lap, which was that run that they've got on that outside line. And both of them at a 47.3. Steve Corsick at a 47.37 and a 47.35 for Seabass. Seabass falling back. Corsick moved to the outside, and that's going to open up the door for Jeff Crosby Jr. to get a run on that inside line with Hunter Reynolds. Trying to see, my screen on OBS is not that big. Looks like they've been out 8 laps on this run. 17 to go. So Bubba's thinking final pit stops around 12 to 14 to go. So we'll see. Steve Corsick back down to the bottom line in front of Crosby Jr. Probably going to be back and forth to kind of let trucks cool off. As he rises it back up to that outside line. The 32 of Sebastian Marin right on his bumper. Now these guys are teammates with the Dell Cup team. We'll pop this up there. That is Brian Wayne, Steve Corsick, and Sebastian Marin part-time. Of course, Monday night, folks, is a team league. So you're going to have drivers pairing up with each other, helping each other out a lot more than what you would normally see. Stephen Luttrell out here by himself. He is going to opt to stay up on that high side and let the leaders and the lead lap cars around below him. He's just got to stay up there and hope nobody swings up to the top on him. So he does a good job of staying up towards that high line, up towards the wall. Just got to keep it off of the wall. He's going to let these guys come by and hopefully get back into the draft is what he is looking to do. That does put Stephen, the first truck and the only truck, a lap down, as we have lost 2 drivers and 1 didn't start. That was Anthony English. We are 14 to go. Still yet to see anybody come down for that final pit stop. So we may be looking at closer to the lap 14 that Bubba is saying, or the lap 12 to go, I should say. Here we go. This is it. You see this big group coming down, being led by Jeff Crosby Jr., Hunter Reynolds. We're watching to make sure there's no shenanigans coming down pit road. Gabe Butler, Alex Green, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, Zach Fritsch, Adam Schramm, Rick Sanchez, Nate Warren, Sean McCarry, and Mark Mann, as Marcus already rolling out, as well as some of the other guys. We've got to keep an eye coming. Oh, we got a caution out now. What happened there, folks? I'm looking to see. I'm not seeing anybody. Well, it took me to the 87. Coming off of pit road. Is when the caution came out. Huh. I wish I knew. I have no idea. I don't know if somebody is trying to do something for a pit stop and hitting the wrong button, bringing out a caution. I wonder if that's what's happening, is one of the admins has a key bind that is tied up with maybe their pit box or pit commander or some sort of a pit crew chief control that is throwing an admin caution. That would be the only explanation I could see with no wrecks. Oh, and also, Bubba, just to put a reminder and a bug in your ear about getting me a Chevyland commercial. Well, let's see if Zach Fritch, they're fixing to go back green, but Zach, Steve up in the booth, got a copy there, buddy.
Whoa, hey, how's it going?
Didn't expect that, did you?
No.
Hey, we got a lot of people asking. I'm not seeing any wrecks. Are we having some mystery cautions?
No, that one, there was a caution. The people who were pitting, it wasn't with them. It was the people who stayed out. Look at turn 1, turn 2.
Oh, okay.
They got like 89, 88. I forget what lap it was. But look at turn 1, turn 2. Focus on the 53.
Okay.
If you want to go back and look at it. But the one previously, there was an accidental button thrown. Not going to name names, but it was an admin.
We kind of figured, and I didn't see anything, and it took me to the 87 when I'd seen the yellow flag on my event viewer on SDK.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything because when he was coming off a pit road, the caution was already out. So. Yeah. But okay.
Yeah, I forget what lap that one is already too. I'll lose track of laps real quick.
But don't we all? So.
I only need to see when it's almost 25 or 50 and when it's like 10 to go. And right now it's 10 to go, so it's time to buckle up. All the people watching.
That's right. All right, buddy. We're going to let you go. Thanks for clarifying, Zach. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yep. Of course.
All right. Get him back down there. So there was something that happened. We didn't catch it. But, we did have confirmation that the one before was an accidental, so Josh Ball is falling all the way back. He is a lap down. That's Andrew Schroeder and Peter DeBorgia. I see, is that Dave Hunt? Going slow. Well, here we go, folks. As we come to 10 to go, it'll be 9 to go when we cross the line. I try to do the interviews, Bubba, but sometimes it's just hard to do when you're trying to look at everything on the replay. As the Chevyland green flag is back out once again on the loud pedal. 9 to go when we cross the line. It is going to be a 9-lap shootout. Of course, I think right now with this league at 10 to go, it's going to be iRacing cautions only. Oh, well, I'm not going to name any names, but the admin that Fritch was talking about sent me a message. And we are wrecking caution back out. That's going to collect a lot of drivers right there, folks. We get several cars involved in that. Looks like the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr., Jimmy Reynolds, Adam Schramm, Les Levy, Dustin Loxton, Nate Warren, Andrew Schroeder, Josh Ball might have got a piece of that. But we're going to take a look here and see where this takes us to. That was a 48 and the 1. That was after all the mess in front of them. It looked like a big checkup up there. Let's see. We're going to be up here. I believe we're going to be up here with Jimmy Reynolds. Right there, Jimmy in the 71 of Sean McCara was side by side. Sean came up. Oh, Sean did come up. Got into the left rear quarter of Jimmy. That got Jimmy sideways. Then everybody starts wrecking. You see Sebastian Marin and the 16 of Nate Warren. Nate Warren goes up high to miss. Sebastian Marin looked like some net code right there too. You see both of the trucks just shift sideways. And that just started collecting drivers. Dustin Logston trying to get it shut down. And somehow gets it out of the way of the 03. Unbelievable. There's Les Levy getting involved. 84 Lynn McNeish is going to try to avoid everything. Oh, and then 81 into the 71 hard right there. Nowhere for Dustin to go. We are back live now, folks. That's going to put Hunter Reynolds as your leader. And we'll get our top 5 up here. I show Sean McCara, but Sean is down on pit road. So that's going to put Hunter Reynolds in that top spot. Gabe Butler second. Rick Sanchez third. Adam Kilday in fourth. And Jeff Crosby Jr. in fifth. We still got drivers down on pit lane as 16 of Nate Warren comes out of the pit. And Dustin Logston is still down on pit road. Jeff Crosby Jr. is still down on pit road. Eric Laurie, Andrew Schroeder, they are coming out. They got to beat the pace car before pit lane closes. And that group is coming back out as well, all out of pit road. Sanchez and Kilday. Let's see. I believe. Yes, they are teammates. They're on a Vendetta Motorsports. Team Vendetta. That consists of Alex Green, Mark Mann, Rick Sanchez, and Adam Kilday. And of course, C. Brands, English, and Mayer are part-timers. One of them is your pick. Well, you know, Hunter Reynolds ain't going to make it easy on them. Hunter Reynolds is part of Team Buttkicker. So is Gabe Butler. So you've got Team Buttkicker 1, 2, Sanchez and Kilday with Vendetta in 3 and 4. And then you have Vicente Guerrero. Kind of up there by himself. We'll have to see how this team event plays out. The truck dives off down to pit road. Chevy Land green flag back out. We are 4 to go at the line here, folks. Hoping for a green flag finish. We'll see what happens as Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds back and forth on that top spot. Gabe Butler to the outside with that 85 of Adam Kilday. Hunter Reynolds, Rick Sanchez on the bottom with Jeff Crosby Jr. As the 3 of Alex Green falls back behind the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Ooh, the 26 up in front of the 88. There's some blocking going on. That's going to allow the 5 of Rick Sanchez maybe go around. He's probably going to hold him up a little bit. That's going to let the 5 go around. But we're looking at 3 wide back here. That is Steve Gorsuch, Sebastian Marin. And the 05 of Brian Wang as the 3 of Alex Green goes to the outside in front of Gorsuch. Oh, Hunter and the 88 together. The 85 up and over. Gorsuch involved. This is getting a lot of trucks. Ooh, the 3 upside down. The 85 upside down as well. There's trucks going everywhere. Everett Lane involved. We're going to look at this real quick, folks. I was afraid that there was going to be that started right back there, right there with Hunter Reynolds and Gabe Butler. Ooh, Gabe with the shot on Hunter. A little bit off center push. That sends Gabe down into the 5. Or it sends Hunter down to the 5. Hunter's trying to straighten it out. And that pushes him and the 88 up towards the wall. Excuse me. And Hunter gets it straightened back out, or he's trying to. And I believe that's what started causing everything behind them to happen. We get on Adam Kilday here. Where is Adam at? There he is. Alex Green. Adam's trying to check up a little bit. Alex Green gets a shot from the 027. That sends him down into Kilday. And Kilday just goes sideways and then up, over, around on top of the 27. Sebastian Marin getting a piece of it. Stephen Luttrell, Lynn McNeese, Sean Stevens, Everett Lane. As we're looking at Adam Kilday right now going up and over. And then that is Alex Green on his lid as well. And Kenny Real, nowhere for Kenny. He was trying to get it shut down. Dave Hunt going to get into the 84 Those two are teammates. Unfortunately, that collected several trucks. Mark Mann getting a piece of it as well. Well, this will be our first GWC attempt. Oh, yeah, I know, Belva. And he is your leader right now, as she is talking about that number 5 of Rick Sanchez. And Jeff Crosby Jr. in second. Vicente Guerrero third. Hunter Reynolds fourth. Zach Fritsch rounding out your top 5. Brian Wang, Dave Hunt, Nate Warren, Stephen Luttrell, Everett Lane, your top 10. As we get to the start-finish line here, the lights on the pace truck will go out. It looks like the number 5 is opting for that high line to start, so the leader does have lane of choice. He is wanting to stay out to that outside. He does have Gabe Butler and Hunter Reynolds are teammates, so I don't know if that was just a bad push. I thought it might have been a bad block, but they are teammates. I wouldn't see a teammate blocking another teammate. Well, while we're waiting on them to get back around, we're going to go ahead and pull this up so you can see Wayne, Butler, Reynolds, Luttrell, Ball, and Crosby all have wins on the season. As they are coming down the back stretch once again, folks. GWC attempt number 1. But on that outside line, you're going to have Rick Sanchez, Hunter Reynolds, Brian Wang, Nate Warren, Everett Lane, Les Levy. And then on the inside, you got Jeff Crosby Jr., I believe that is Vicente Guerrero. Pace truck drives off down the pit road. Hey, Mike Edgerton out there. Chevy Lane green flag back out once again. GWC attempt number 1. They have got to make it around to the next lap. I want to get on this right here because this is where the excitement's going to be. What's going to happen with this group. The top 6 trucks right there as they come down the back stretch. Oh, that could have been bad, but look on the outside. Sean McCara, Sebastian Marin, Steve Korosek making a run on that 3rd lane. And that 3rd lane is really hooking up and going. Got to be careful about drafting, bump drafting that tight in the corners. White flag is out, folks. Whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. Sean McCara is getting a good push by Sebastian Mayer and Steve Korosek on that outside line with Nate Warren. We are 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Sanchez in the middle with Hunter Reynolds. Oh, big shot there. Several trucks involved, but Sebastian Marin is going to come out with Steve Korosek unscathed. As Brian Wang is trying to maintain, and Stephen Luttrell is trying to catch up with them. Steve Korosek, Brian, and Sebastian Marin back and forth. Sebastian opting to fall in behind, and that is going to be it. Steve Korosek, your winner. Sebastian Marin 3rd. And Adam Schramm in a third. That's Sebastian Merritt in second, and Adam Schramm in a third. Well, hang tight, folks. Let me get this back on to our start-finish line. But Steve Corsick going to be your winner. Sebastian Merritt in second. Adam Schramm in third. Well, hang tight. We're going to step aside, get our top three up here for the post-race interview, and we will be back in just a minute. All right, folks, we are back. We have caught up with our top three. We'll go ahead and get our third place finisher down here. And we will, there he is, Adam Schramm finishing P3. Man, up 18 spots. Good run for you tonight, Adam. Man, a lot of cautions. What went wrong? You think what went right?
Yeah, honestly, if you would have told me, 2 laps before the end of that race, I would be finishing third, I would have definitely not believed it. Definitely had some damage there on that last restart. Was talking with my spotter, was really going to just stay committed to that bottom lane. Knew if I kind of ducked out, just probably would fall back a bit. So honestly, the seas just parted. I got to give a big shout out to my spotter, Thomas Lockwood, for calling me through all that. I still honestly am a little bit speechless how I made it through there in third place.
Well, let's talk about the overall race a little bit, Adam. I mean, typically this league, we don't have that many cautions.
No, it's definitely a caution-filled race. Messed with strategy a little bit there, I feel like, at points. Definitely, I spent a good bit of time on pit road repairing throughout the race there. Had to take my fast repair there a little bit towards the end and just tried to keep it clean. But yeah, it's definitely a more caution-filled race than I'm used to for the Monday Night League.
Well, new night next week, different track. I believe we are. I don't even know where we're at. I think we're at New Daytona next week. Let me see if I can find that real quick. But I believe we're at New Daytona next week, and that's. Oh no, we are at. Well, it says Talladega Super Speedway, but it's showing Shady Track iRacing Super Speedway. What do you think about that track?
Yeah, iRacing Super Speedway isn't my most favorite plate track, but last time we were there in the league, definitely had a pretty decent running. So hoping to keep plugging along in that direction. Definitely haven't race that one as much as the other plate tracks. So just try to keep my nose clean through that, and hopefully plug another good finish in there.
Well, awesome job tonight, Adam. Great run. Good points night for you and your team for getting that podium finish. I'm going to turn the mic over to you, buddy. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, just want to give a shout-out to all my team members. Definitely wouldn't be possible running where I am every week without them. Big shout-out to my sponsor, or my spotter, Thomas. And, definitely appreciate the interview, and definitely still a little shocked at that finish there.
Well, go celebrate, brother. We will see you next week. And, I think we will be running on we might be. I have to look at that again. But if not, we'll see you the next time we have a race, bro.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. All right, going to get you down to the post-race campfire. All right, well, that's going to bring us to our second-place finisher tonight. We'll get him down to the broadcast booth. This guy right here, folks, I've apologized to him before, and, I wish things would have turned out different. I was trying to push him to the win, and I think Netcode got us and ended up sending him up. I ended up getting that win on Wednesday night because of this man. I can't thank him enough. Seabass, Sebastian Marin. Man, awesome job, P2. Ain't seen you in a while, buddy. Just glad to have you back out on the track.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Obviously just been busy with the Coke esports side. So, just haven't really had time, especially on Mondays, because obviously the Coke is on Tuesday, so we usually test that time. So it's good to be back. Hopefully every now and then I'll tune in and try to race whenever we have an off week for Coke. And obviously being Bumpy Tona, expected it to be a little rough. It's good to be back. I still had a lot of fun it being Bumpy Tona and just going to the back and going through the field and timing the runs with my teammates. Like, we kept going to the back, to the front. It was a whole lot of fun. So, that was crazy.
Well, Seabass, I want to let you know, buddy, that I felt bad about that net code, but I also wanted you to know that was my first iRacing win, was that night on Wednesday night.
Oh, you're all good. There's no hard feelings there, buddy. Don't worry about it.
But hey, awesome run, dude, and the run you guys were getting, you and Korosek, and I think Alex Green was with you there for a little bit. Brian Wang kind of teamed up with you guys a little bit there as well. But man, that third lane, I've seen guys run that lane quite a bit, but they would lose momentum going into the turns. But you guys was just smoking it through those turns. Is that just because of the way you guys were hooked up into the turn?
I would say it was a mixture of things for sure. For example, we knew the only way the third lane was really going to get a run big enough to clear was wait for the front two lanes to the bottom and the middle to get hot. Because obviously the way these trucks are, it's whichever lane is the coolest, it's the one that's going to move forward. So we would kind of just wait 2 laps, wait for people's temps to get hot, and then we would get together, and then we can just no-lift push until we all get cleared. So it's a mixture of things. Obviously, the connection between trucks is also good. I don't know if you've experienced it, but like depending on, not on ping, but just on connection between somebody. With some truck or person, you'll have a way better connection, and the tandem will be way more effective than when somebody else. So it just happens that me and Steve just have a really good connection. We obviously both race the same, quite a bit aggressive, know how to time the runs and side drafts. So it was cautious aggressiveness. We were just waiting for the right time to be aggressive, and that's what gave us the runs.
Well, man, that Nexus truck was looking good out there tonight, Sebastian. You wasn't the biggest mover tonight. Steve had you on that, but you were up 26 spots. So awesome run by you. Good points night for you and for your team. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, Seabass. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out for OP and Jimmy Reynolds for letting me run part time. I'm not running for points, but I am running part time. Letting him, you know, thanks for him letting me run. You know, every now and then whenever I can. Shout out to Steve and Brian, my two teammates there working. Obviously, with me being part time, I'm not running for points, so I knew, you know, my goal coming in whenever raced was to try and get Steve into the playoffs because Brian already had a win. And it all worked out here tonight. And we got him one on the first try, so we're 1 for 1. So that record is great so far. And yeah, and shout out to you for putting on this broadcast. I had a lot of fun. I know for a lot of people in here, maybe it was a rough race, but hey, I had fun, so I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, it was a great night.
Well, awesome job, Seabass. Good to seeing you, brother. Glad you was able to join us tonight. Always a pleasure seeing you out there on the track, man. Go celebrate, and good luck with the Coca-Cola guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night, Steve.
You too, buddy. All right. Well, he moved himself up there. Well, that's going to bring us to our race winner, and we'll get him into the booth here if I can get my stuff to work. Steve Korsak, man, our biggest mover of tonight, up 29 spots for the win. Of course, it was with help with your teammates, with Seabass and Brian Wayne getting you guys up there. And, man, that run, and I'd have told Seabass this too, that run you guys were getting on that third lane was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, man, the third lane was flying there. You just had it was really sketchy feeling. You just had to stay committed, and it seemed like you could move. Just needed help.
Well, '08 Daytona is well, it's known because it is such a rough track, beats you to death. There's not a smooth line to me, and I've run this track several times with these guys, but I could never find a smooth enough line. What do you have to do to combat the roughness and the bumpiness of this track?
I think that a good trick going about it is don't grip the wheel so hard. I know that it's super bumpy and it wants to rip the wheel left and right like a big amount. If you just ease up your grip on the wheel and let the wheel move and do its thing, it seems like it stays in the lane pretty straight.
Well, man, let's talk.
That's just what I see.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I kind of started doing that a little bit towards the end of my runs with these guys, and yeah, I still don't like this track. I hate this track, honestly. But you know, let's talk a little bit about the race tonight. All the cautions, you know, I've said this to the other guys too. It's really uncharacteristic of this group of drivers and this league to have this many cautions. Well, what in your opinion, sir, what do you think was a cause a lot of that?
I think that it's just a product of this track. It's probably the toughest super speedway we go to. It's very difficult to hold your lane. And the faster you go, especially when you're in a big group of trucks, that dirty air hits your front nose and it makes the truck not want to turn left when you go into the corner and it wants to drift up. So you got to really be on top of your game and make sure you're on top of that.
Well, awesome run for you tonight, Steve. Congratulations on the win. That gets you into the playoffs, but that's also quite a few points for your team. So awesome job. Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, buddy. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give?
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out to Coro Queen. She was watching me, cheering me on tonight. So I'm glad I could get the win for watching. And shout-out to the team, Dale Cup. You did good tonight. Thank you, Seabass, for coming in and helping. If it wasn't for him, I think I would have been in trouble with a couple of those wrecks there. So, you know, it's just a good team effort. We got it done. And thanks for putting on the broadcast. Watch it back here in a little bit. And thanks, OP, for putting it on.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll get you down there to the post-race campfire. Congratulations. Go celebrate. We will see you next week, sir.
Thanks, man.
All right, we get him down there to the post-race interview. Well, that is going to bring us to our unofficial results, pending any admin stuff that are down there reviewing everything now. So we'll go ahead and get our unofficial results up here. As we see, where is it at? It's not showing. Well, let's see if it'll let me do it this way. Huh. Well, that's weird. It is not letting me show the results, but we're going to go ahead and run through it. Steve Korsak in first, Sebastian Marin in second, Adam Schramm third, Alex Green in fourth, Everett Lane in fifth, Steve Rada sixth, Brian Wang seventh, Stephen Luttrell at eighth, Josh Ball in ninth, Mark Mann rounding out your top 10, Gabe Butler finishing 11th, Eric Laurie in 12th, Lennon McNeese in 13th, Les Levy 14th, Dustin Loxton 15th, Nathan Warren in 16th, Zach Fritz 17th, Jeff Crosby Sr. in 18th, Peter DeBorgia 19th, Rick Sanchez in 20th. Rounding out the 20-car field. Then you got Kitty Reel in 21st, Hunter Reynolds 22nd, Dave Hunt in 23rd, Jimmy Reynolds 24th, Vicente Guerrero 25th, Richard Kuhn 26th, Adam Kilday in 27th, Andy Brigante 28th, Sean McCarr 29th, Jeff Crosby Jr. in 30th, Zach Workman in 31st, Sean Stevens 32nd, Andrew Schroeder 33rd, Doug Johnson in 34th, David Overstreet 35th, and Anthony English, who did not start, down here in 36th. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Maxspeed TV. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and visiting with us out in chat. Kenny Real, Belva Phelps, Mike Edgerton, Bubba Winningham out there chatting it up with us and keeping me in line. William Luttrell out there as well. I know Netspeed was out there. David Overstreet with Checker Flag Motorsports. Brendan Kennedy. Andrew Schroeder. That's why, because iRacing was done. Andrew Schroeder. David Casper. D.F. Williams. Brendan Kennedy. John Black. Kyle B. Fishing. All out there. Appreciate everybody. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Maxspeed TV. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th of July as we get into the 4th of July weekend. Be safe. If you're setting off fireworks, please be safe. I want to see you guys come back whenever we come back live here on Maxspeed TV. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. Stephen Lane up here in the booth. We will see you next time. So have a great evening. Stay safe, and we will see you next week.